Malta is a sun-kissed island in the Mediterranean Sea where the sport of boxing is booming. Not bad for the 10th smallest country in the world according to the internet. It can even claim the accolade for the first fight show to go ahead with spectators following the worldwide lockdown to fight coronavirus. And when the opening bell rung, Christian Schembri was both fighting and co-promoting the show.
It is a little bit of a distraction, but not as much as it would be if I was promoting it alone, because there was my other co-promoters, Demis Tonna, Mark Wilson-Smith and Steve Martin. They were taking care mostly of the logistics, how the tables were going to be set up, the seatings and stuff like that. The only thing I had a bit of to worry about was like dealing with the other fighters, how much they're going to get paid, and matching them together and stuff like that. And everybody's asking you, is it going to happen with COVID and everything? So it was a bit stressful, but nothing that I couldn't handle.
Yeah, that was a great event. You know, it was very exciting to be involved in this, and also a little bit crazy, because a few times we didn't know if the event was actually going to go ahead due to the COVID situation. But the show went on. It was a big event. I mean, we actually made a small piece of history right here in Malta, because that was the world's first spectated sports event post the COVID lockdown. And like I said, that happened right here in Malta. So we put, in a way, Malta kind of on the boxing map. But in general, it was great to be involved in that show. You know, with a capacity crowd, a lot of good action-packed fights, and of course the main event was Christian Schembri against Scott Dixon in the trilogy. You know, and that was a great fight. I'm sure you've seen it on KOTV already. So it was a fantastic night and a very good night for Maltese boxing.
I fought a guy with only one fight before as an exhibition to stay active. I didn't want to sign up for a professional fight because of the current situation, so I wasn't sure if I would travel back home to Sweden or not if I was staying, but I said I would do an exhibition to stay in the game. So it was a good fight. It was a very tough guy. He was almost 10 kilos heavier than me, but it was good for me to move around a little bit and to feel how it is to get in the ring in front of a pretty big audience.
That was Swedish fighter Nicholas Elfstedt, who started out as a Muay Thai fighter and then swapped the cold of Scandinavia for the warm weather of Malta, where he switched to boxing and has settled into a new life in the Med.
Originally, I moved to Malta because of the professional opportunities when it comes to work, but I left my day job 2 years ago to focus on boxing 100%, and now I have my base here, I have my family here. I have my training partners, my coaches, we're all based here. So
the weather is great to train. It's sunny most of the year. We have good facilities, good gyms. We have some decent coaches as well. For example, a friend of mine, Nicholas, is trained by a Dominican coach and I was trained a little bit by him as well for some time. And he's been around quite a bit.
I think it's pretty good. We have some really high-level coaches here in Malta. And the top guys around my weight class and lower weight classes too, and higher weight classes are very good. So you can find some really good sparring here. Yeah, and everything is very close. Malta is a small island, so you never have more than a 15-minute drive to a good spar.
Christian Schembri has built up quite a reputation in Malta. A fighter, promoter and trainer, he'll do whatever it takes to help the sport of boxing thrive in this little part of the Mediterranean.
Training others is actually beneficial to my fighting career as well. My face is out there a lot, so I get quite a number of people wanting to come and watch me in my fights. It's good for me technically as well, because I see what mistakes other guys are doing, and I can pick them up and see them on myself as well. I'm all the time repeating the same things that I need to do with other people as well, and it makes me money as well. I mean, it gets me in a good spot to be able to arrange my days around my training, and allow me to be able to do the professional boxing side financially as well.
Christian's a great guy, you know, he's very charismatic, and you can see why the sponsors love him. But I mean, in terms of a boxer, I've never met anyone as dedicated as him. Seriously, I've got to tell this guy to take some days off, take a break after fights, not train so much, because this guy would spend 24 hours a day in the gym if he could, you know. Another good thing about Christian is like up for a challenge. I mean, just look at his first professional fight. That was against a former Commonwealth champion. He took that fight at short notice, and it was very close, you know. That was the first fight with Scott Dixon. So he's a good guy.
Both men had bad starts to life as a prize fighter. They both lost on their pro debuts. Not the start either would have wanted, but they both bounced back and learned from that early loss.
Well, the defeat of my first pro fight wasn't actually a defeat, because I gained the respect of the whole boxing community and boxing fans in Malta, because I saved the show, because I took that fight on 2 weeks' notice and everybody was expecting me to get wiped out. But I took him the whole 10-round distance. Everybody was saying that I won because it was a very close fight, but it went down as a defeat. But I mean, it was actually a win in my career, and even though I didn't get the win, it was kind of a very good way to start my career off like that.
And my first pro bout was, I would say, a messy affair. The decision can be whatever. I just trained harder than ever, and I thought the next couple of fights I'm not going to let it go to the hands of the judges. So I think I had 4 or 5 knockouts in a row after my first initial loss. So, you know, then there's no question of who's winning or not.
Last time out, both boxers looked good, and Schembri won his trilogy clash with British fighter Scott Dixon. It's been a strange 2020 for boxing, but on the other side, Christian and Nicholas are aiming for big things.
I'm looking to make a statement and have a good win on the next fight show here in Malta next month. After that, I'm hoping to secure a title fight in Sweden for the Swedish middleweight title in sometime in November. And after that, we'll see, maybe defend the Swedish title and fight for a European title of some kind.
Many more fights. I have 26, but I don't have a lot of mileage on the clock because I didn't have an amateur career. And I've only got 26. I have 26 fights, and I want to get to 50, 55, something like that. So I want to do that, and I want to win a good title as well. My dream is to win the European Boxing Union Championships, and I would like to travel a lot more to gain more experience and better myself as a boxer and complete my life as a fighter.